Long ago, it is said, a young man saw a young woman from his village, and he longed to find some way to talk to her. He was too shy to approach her directly. She was the daughter of a chief, and it was well known that she was very proud.
Many men tried to court her,
but she sent them all away.
One day, this young man went on a hunting trip. He found the tracks of an elk and began to follow it. Although he caught sight of it now and then, he stayed far ahead of him, leading him away from the village until he was deep in the hills. Finally, night came, and he made a camp. He was far from home, and the sounds of the night made him feel very lonely.
The young man leaned against a tree, and he listened to all the sounds around him in the night. He heard the doves and the owls. The rustling of the leaves. The creaking of the tree branches. And the whistling of the wind. Then he heard a sound he had never heard before. It was a strange sound, like the call of a bird, and yet different from any bird. It sounded as if it came from the land of the spirits. He listened closely to it, and then he fell asleep and dreamed. And in his dream, a red-headed woodpecker came and sang that strange but beautiful song. And then the woodpecker spoke. "Follow me," it said. "Follow me, young hunter. I will give you something."
When the young man woke, the sun was 2 hands high. There in the branches of the tree above him was the red-headed woodpecker. He began to fly from tree to tree, stopping and looking back. The young man followed. Finally, the woodpecker landed on the straight, dead branch of a cedar tree, and he began drumming with its beak into that hollow limb. When the wind came up, it blew through that limb. And the hunter knew what he should do. He carefully broke off that limb, and he thanked the red-headed woodpecker for giving this gift, and he took it home to his lodge.
But no matter what he did, he could not find a way to make the branch sing. Finally, he went to a hilltop, and he fasted for 4 days. And on the 4th day, a vision came to him. It was the woodpecker, and it spoke to him again and told him what to do. First, he must carve the likeness of a bird and fasten it to one end of the branch. Then he must shape the other end so that it opened like the beak of a bird. When he blew through the branch and placed his fingers on the holes, he would be able to play the woodpecker's song. So the boy did as his vision told him. And then he began to practice long and hard. And as he practiced, he listened to all the sounds around him. He listened to the wind. The creaking and rustling of the trees. The rippling of the water. And the calling of the birds. And he made all of these sounds a part of his playing, until at last he could play the woodpecker's song. And he felt that he was finally ready to visit that young woman that he had liked for so long from afar. So one night, he stood outside her lodge and played his best song on the flute. Well, she heard that song, and she came outside to listen. And then he wrapped his blanket around her, and they stood together in the moonlight. So it was. The young hunter became the husband of the chief's daughter.
Ever since then, young men who wish to go courting have learned to make the cedar flute and play those magical songs.
And many of those flutes, to give honor to the red-headed woodpecker that gave such a special gift, are shaped to resemble the head and open mouth of a bird.